What's going on, YouTube? It's Pelfrey, and I don't really know what to say, you know. If you're not following me on Instagram and you don't know about Reef to Reef, the forum, then I'll just go ahead and lay it out here. I've listed the whole entire setup for sale. I really don't expect the whole system to sell, but you know, you never know. So as it stands right now, I have the whole system for sale for $4,000, which if you add up all the stuff that I have on the tank, it's close to $6,000, and that's with a quote unquote used resale value of the equipment, the tank, the livestock, and so on and so forth. So I feel like $4,000 is a good deal as far as what this tank offers, but I get it. That's a large chunk of change to drop on a hobby. I will say that I have started to pull some stuff off of the tank that isn't really a necessity. I pulled the MP10s off and I'm just using the Tunze 6040s. I pulled the Neptune FMM module off with the optical sensors and the leak detector. Took one of the titanium heaters out. There's probably some other stuff that I'm missing, but ultimately what I'm going to end up doing, because I get it that this is I mean, who really has $4,000 to drop on a system? You know, it's very, very rare. I know in my last video I talked about different tanks and so on and so forth. I really don't know what the future holds. I'm just kind of trying to plan for that. And ultimately, we all get it, this is an expensive hobby, especially if you go with expensive equipment. So what my plan is, I'm gonna pull off everything that's expensive except for the radions. I'm gonna leave the radions here. I'm gonna pull the Apex out, I'm gonna pull the Neptune Core 20 out, I'm gonna pull the skimmer out. I'm gonna replace it with cheaper equipment. The thought process behind this is maybe I'll change my mind and just keep it. Or, you know, if I part out the system, ultimately I will make more money than what I'm asking for the whole entire system. As I'm shooting this video, I've already sold one MP10 and it's gonna go out tomorrow. The other one is, it's listed for sale right now. But I do plan to pull, like I said, the Core 20, the Nio skimmer out, the full Apex out. I'll program the radions with the USB cord and a computer. I mean, all I need is for them to come on and off on a schedule. There's really nothing else fancy about it. At the moment, I'm running them off the WXM module. I do plan to get like a $30 refugium light off of Amazon, and I'll do refugium in here to compensate for no skimmer. The skimmer doesn't help with my pH in the house anyway. I'm not drawing air from the outside into the tank to begin with, so that's really not a topic of conversation. I'll probably get, I've been looking at there's a Coral box. It's like a 4,000. I think it does like 800 gallons per hour. You know, I don't really care about the turnover in this. I got the Neptune Core 20 running at like 40 or 45%, but I could piece out a lot of the equipment that I have. I'll pull the Neptune dose off of here and I can put cheaper equipment on here and I can just run the tank, and as I do this, I'll drop the price of the entire setup. So, you know, as I pull all the expensive stuff off of there and put, you know, quote unquote cheaper equipment on here, then we'll just say that, you know, the system's worth, you know, $1,500 or so. I really don't know what the future holds. I do know that I can put that money back into my pocket, and ultimately us as a family can prosper from that money. You know, we can put it in a college fund, or we can go on a vacation. You know, we could do a lot of things with the money that has gone into the tank as far as the equipment that I've bought at the moment. That's not to say that I won't circle back around sometime in the future and do what I've done now. I'm a tinkerer by nature. That's just what I do. I work in IT, and it's a perfect occupation for me. Why? Because we get to tinker a lot. We get to test things, we get to break things, we get to fix things, we get to do all sorts of tinkering. But you know, ultimately, I really would like to keep this tank, or a tank probably half the size. The diamond tail flasher wrasse, the yellow wrasse, and the yellow tang, the coral beauty have all been favorite fish of mine. I do have a zebra dartfish in here, and I really don't care for that fish, but you know, it is what it is. The flame hawk fish, which is over here, it did eat the shrimp that I had in the tank, but the livestock that I have in this tank right here, I think work in this tank, and you know, a smaller tank would force me to rethink some of the decisions that I've made as far as fish is concerned. But I really don't know. Like I said, I really don't know what the future holds. Push come to shove, I'll get rid of everything, and as multiple people have commented, I would just get some rock, maybe throw it in a brute can and cycle it, and that way whenever I get something, hey, I got rock cycled already. Or I'll just get something that's half the size. I could take this rock structure, throw it in there, be done with it. I really don't know. There was a comment on my last video that said that they don't feel like I have enough rock in this system, but this system used to have a ton of rock in it, and I took it out just because the peak was too high. And what some people may forget is I'm running Cyperax. Not only am I running Cyperax in the sump, but I'm running Cyperax in the overflow too. And that is a form of live rock. You know, it's it holds the biological stuff that allows a tank to run and thrive. So I don't feel like the tank is what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like there's definitely enough rock in the tank, and there's definitely enough biological media in the tank to hold the tank and to get the tank past, you know, where we need to be. But I mean, as far as LPS and everything are concerned, they do just fine. And quite honestly, I feel like now with the rock structure, if I put SPS on this rock structure, being that it's right underneath one of the rocks, it would probably do just fine. That's just not an alley that I'm trying to go down right now. I hit the wrong button there, so here I am again. I do have full intentions on keeping a tank, you know, whether it's a 10 gallon, 40 gallon, whatever it is, or if I keep this tank, I really don't know what it is, but you know, I'm addicted to the hobby, and it definitely helps take my mind away whenever I deal with the tank from everything else, you know, work and just everything else. More importantly, what the tank does for me is it challenges the brain. You know, I learned all this pretty much on my own as far as saltwater chemistry. You know, we could all argue that I probably don't have all the chemistry down pat at this point, but you know, I started with freshwater. I learned how to cycle a tank fishless with freshwater and test the water and whatnot, and that kind of led me into saltwater, which was more of a challenge. And ultimately, that's what I've always thrived for, is a challenge. And whenever a challenge is presented to me, I'm not really one to back down from it, especially if it grasps my interest like the reef tank did. So, you know, if we could do it over again, I would probably take this tank and put it over in this area somewhere. And the good thing about this is the garage is right underneath that staircase out there. But, you know, if I get a smaller tank, maybe that's something that I could do. I do appreciate everyone following along. The folks that have seen the Reef to Reef ad and the Instagram ad, the folks that have reached out to me has been completely overwhelming. I don't really know if I'm a reefer or a YouTuber. I feel like I'm a reefer, and documenting this on YouTube and sharing it with everybody just kind of comes along with it. The amount of people that have sent me messages just in regards to saying, hey, I got this tank because of the videos that you've done. Again, it's been overwhelming, the fact that I can touch people in the way that I have. It's been fantastic, and I do appreciate it so much. But truth be told, there's a million ways to do this, and I've never said that my way is the best way. I just kind of tried to describe what I've got going on, and you know, you can take it or leave it. But there's a ton of other reefers out there that give great advice and have beautiful tanks. You know, Amarazol TV, I know I've mentioned him multiple times, but he's got a beautiful Red Sea Reefer 250 with, he just put a Trident on it, and everybody loves the unicorn. But that's kind of the state that I'm in right now. you know, we're in a limbo situation. So just hold tight. I'm going to continue posting updates because where the tank is posted and the price range that it's posted at right now, I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere anytime soon. So I'm going to have it for a little while. So just be patient with me while I figure this all out. And as always, follow me on Instagram if you're not on Instagram at Pelfrey's Reef. I do appreciate you following along. Check out the website at pelfrey.net. And I'll catch you on the next one.